All right, and good. Okay. Thanks everybody for taking the time who's signing in live right now to watch this discussion between Adam and myself. Hey Adam, how you doing?
I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
Good, really good. Oh, hold on, here we go. So for everybody that is taking the time to do this live, thank you very much for signing in. You can absolutely use the Q&A tab or the chat tab down below to ask any questions as we go through this. And for all of you watching this as a recording, feel free to send an email to mail@deliveredlumens.lighting. If you have any questions as this comes up, I'm happy to answer them after the fact. So I'm excited about doing this one because Adam and I are talking about a really, really cool project. And I love when we get away from just pure product conversation and we get into actual project conversation. So Adam, I'm going to shift over and make you the host so that you can share your screen. And let me do that right now. Okay. And Adam, so let's talk about Michigan Plaza. So Michigan Plaza is a site in Chicago, and you guys were commissioned to do this incredible setup, this incredible custom chandelier. So can you talk to me a little bit about where the design came from, who commissioned you, how you got involved in the project?
Yeah, we were originally approached by our agency in Chicago. They reached out to us just really when it just was all just in the works right at the beginning, the early stages, just for some pricing on some standard pendants that we offered. I'll show you the ones that they were asking for at the beginning, just some standard product. Large quantities, it was about 700 or so. So we knew that it was a larger scale ceiling installation. We priced that originally, sent some samples for review. And once, it was moving forward, we were given some more details about the actual installation and the canopy that was involved. So that was like a whole nother step in the project to work with the lighting designer, the architect, the contractor, everybody involved. So we worked really well with everybody. It went really, really well, actually. It's one of the best projects we've had the chance to work on in terms of being, working as a team with everybody involved. So it went really well.
So you guys got a pricing request essentially on a standard piece of product.
Yeah.
And that evolved into what the project became. So can you talk a little bit about what your role it was? Like, what role did Hemera take in moving that from sort of concept pricing initial phase into the design concept that ended up being what came before?
Once our standard product was reviewed and we were asked to kind of look at customizing the fixture head itself, and we sent some samples of some custom versions that we could offer. Once that got the go, then we really started having meetings with the lighting team, the architect, to really look over the installation. So, I mean, we had probably a dozen or so different conference calls, tons of emails going back and forth to share this information and to show what we could offer in terms of solutions for what the lighting design team was looking for. So yeah, it worked out really well that way.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that it's interesting because different manufacturers have different levels to which that they're comfortable collaborating, right? A lot of manufacturers say this is the thing we make. We can make the cords longer. Good luck. But I think you guys take a different approach. You really want to be project partners and sort of get in there from the beginning and work it through.
Absolutely. Yeah. So what I'll do, JP, is I'll share you my screen here. I'll go through just some images here that I think will help illustrate how we went through this.
Sure.
Yeah, so first of all, everybody that's taken the time to look this over with us, do thank you for your time. So this is a custom chandelier, like JP mentioned, that Hemera manufactured and helped design for the Michigan Plaza lobby located in Chicago. We work closely with Canada Design. Their Chicago office is actually located in the Michigan Plaza building. So these are the two original fixtures that we quoted and sent as samples. This is our Cassandra micro suspension and our Mia micro suspension. They're available in a 2-inch and a 1-inch diameter. Solid frosted acrylic rods is what we offer with these fixtures. After we reviewed some samples, we were provided with some details about the canopy. So original quote did not include this. So with this one, we got to the next stage. So this layout here was provided to us by Canada Design, and what it is, it's a 21-foot by 31-foot ceiling canopy. And in the top right, you'll notice that the shape that's looking for, it kind of have this concave effect to it. We ended up offering this custom fixture head, which was what was used. So this is actually a 1.5 inch diameter, so it falls right in between the two standard sizes that we're offering. Yeah, and, of course, exactly, exactly. It has a brushed chrome plated finish, so we customized the finish. And instead of the frosted material used in the acrylic, it's actually a clear with a frosted bottom. Also, the LED engine that we made with it is a customized LED engine that we offered instead of a COB. This ensured consistent color temperature through the entire chandelier, which was very important to us. The ceiling canopy, sorry, go ahead.
Go on that. So it's instead of the standard, because I'm aware of the COB product, you went for it with a different light engine to do this?
Yeah, exactly. Because originally we were going to offer it with a bridge lux. That's what we're using back in that time. That was back in 2016. And we confirmed with bridge lux and pretty much all other suppliers that we had with COB that we couldn't guarantee that the binning that would be used across that many fixture heads, 766 that were ended up being used. So we had concerns about the color temperature, the consistency. So it's actually something that we addressed on our end. It wasn't asked by the lighting team, but we addressed and proposed and got everybody on board for that.
So that's a huge point. So
yeah.
Not only did you not, so you didn't go with the COB, you went with like an array instead. Is that the solution? That
yeah, a little chip with 4 LEDs. So just kind of a really tiny little LED engine. Yeah.
Wow, that's really interesting. Okay, yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
Great to know.
Yeah, so here's the design that we came up with based on the information that was provided. This is the design. It has 36 ceiling panels used to suspend the fixture heads and then 12 central panels to fill out the space. These are the panels that we manufactured. It was very important for the lighting designers that the ceiling canopy did not have any apparent fasteners. So Hemera designed the ceiling panels with brackets that were used to attach directly to unistrut bars. We provided a template to cut into the ceiling when the hole was made, and we provided a layout to install these unistrut bars that I was just mentioning. The drivers are remote, and we had them put into 16 remote driver assembly kits that were installed at the center. And here's the ceiling canopy that was pre-assembled when just the metal was made first to make sure it was accurate and precision was right on.
So this was built in your shop, and this is a photo in your shop. That's what we're looking
exactly.
Got
exactly.
It. Got it.
The 4 central panels where there's no fixtures hung, that's where the remote driver assembly kits are. They include hinges that you see here that we manufactured for it so that they can be opened and the remote driver kits can be accessed. After those remote driver boxes were installed that you see on the right, we have the 16 in total. The outer ring was installed. And as you see here, we have the multiple pieces that are installed that look like one continuous piece with no apparent fasteners, which is the exact look that the lighting design team was looking for.
That's wild.
So afterwards, we followed kind of an inward direction. The remaining panels were installed, and then we had the fixture heads were installed afterwards and wired to their appropriate remote kits.
So let me ask about the installation here. I'm assuming you guys worked with the contractors on getting this up there, yeah?
Oh yeah, I keep mentioning we worked very closely with the lighting design team. We did. As this moved along, we were just as involved with the contractors as well. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So was it a Hemera team member or the contractors that were moving these panels? When you say moving from the center, from the outside in, was that at your direction? Was that something the contractor?
Yeah, no, that was our direction. We made that very clear, and we're actually on site for the installation.
Okay.
That was something that we emphasized throughout, is that the most important stage in the installation was that first outer ring, because the precision had to be just perfect so that when the rest of the panels were installed, we just moved inwards and then it became kind of easier and easier. But if there's any, if the precision was off just a little bit on that outer ring, it could have had kind of a domino effect.
Understood.
So after that, we had the cables were untied. Hemera worked with the lighting designers to create this hanging pattern, and all the overall heights were pre-measured in our factory prior to shipping. Each mounting point in the ceiling canopy had a luminaire disconnect that was coated and matched with its corresponding fixture head. So we kind of had a plug and play. We try to consider the installation to make it as easy as possible. So Hemera worked very closely with the architect, the lighting design team, contractor, like I mentioned, throughout the entire development, production, and even the installation of this project. Because of this, we worked so closely together that we actually had this manufactured in 10 weeks after it was put into production.
Wow.
And also
That's
we're very,
great.
yeah, no, we're proud of that. We're proud of that. When this project came to us, we were kept told about a very tight timeline, that this was very time sensitive. There were delays on the overall renovation, but it was not our chandelier. Our chandelier was delivered and installed on time. So we're really happy about that.
That's
also,
awesome.
we're really proud that last year this installation was recognized with the Illumination Award for Interior Lighting Design.
Well, it's deserving.
Yeah. And just to touch on that custom acrylic that we use, that 1.5 inch diameter, we've actually used that on a couple other projects. This chandelier here uses that same acrylic material on a 42-inch diameter canopy. It has 24 fixture heads that are 24, 36, and 48-inch long. And just one last example of another large-scale chandelier that we did. This includes 161 of our pure micro suspension fixture heads on a 30-foot by 9-foot ceiling canopy that's manufactured with Rulon planks. And then the rest of the ceiling is finished off with that same Rulon material so that our canopy kind of just disappears right into the ceiling.
Yeah, we're gonna do a separate discussion about this project because I think it's really interesting how you guys have developed a system for how to do these kinds of
exactly. Yeah, so as JP mentioned, this is a really good opportunity to talk about more about projects. It is really interesting and I think a great idea. We have a brand new website right now, and actually under projects, we have really some nice projects highlighted there. Really emphasizes on these types of installations.
Yeah, so I mean, the takeaway that I'd like the designers out there and the folks that are specifying lighting, the architects, the interior designers, when you have a lighting effect that you're interested in creating, you may go to the Hemera website and see beautiful fixtures, and but think this is not exactly what I want on the job, right? But don't let the conversation stop there, because if you look at what we just saw at Michigan Plaza or at the People's Center, which was the last job that Adam brought up, customization, modifications are all something that Hemera does. Adam, can you back up a little bit? We kind of jumped right into the project. Talk a little bit about the history of Hemera. How are you guys sort of developed out to do this sort of custom and modification work?
Yeah, no, that's a good point, JP. Well, Hemera Lighting, we're based out of Montreal, Canada, and we've been in business now for about 25 years. And the important thing to remember about us as a manufacturer is that all the design and manufacturing is done in-house right here in our factory. So that really allows us to modify and customize very easily, actually. You know, we have multiple machinists that work in our factory, the machining, thermoforming, all the testing, assembling is done right here in our factory. So if we need to modify a fixture just a little bit or a lot, we're really flexible that way. And because of our capabilities in our factory, we're also open to complete custom jobs as well.
That's great stuff. So, you know, we had a recent job here in the city, a hotel project where you guys came through for us. When I say us, I mean SDA, to come up with a completely custom fixture very quickly. And at a very affordable price point, considering the level of quality that you guys bring to the job. So I really want the story of this to come out for designers, that you guys should be a go-to option as a project partner, not just some pretty things that you see on the catalog. So Adam, thank you so much for doing this. I'm doing a quick scan of the Q&A and of the chat. I don't see anything up here yet. And so I think we can safely call it. I always like to keep these nice and tight. So thank you very much for doing this. And thank you for everybody that signed in. And again, if you're watching this as a recording, it's mail@deliveredlumens.lighting. Feel free to reach out to me and we'll talk about your next project. Adam, thanks very much.